Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, you?
I'm all right. Not terrible.
That's good.
Yeah. My room's different.
Yeah, I see that. You can see the big TV. Is it a 4K one?
Yes, the TV's not new though. The TV was there before. The bed's gone though. In a different room.
Do I have audio? You guys hear
Yes. I can hear you.
me? Okay. Do I sound like shit? I'm in a car right now.
Eh.
So. Okay.
I mean, not the best, but
Okay. I will stay muted then. I just thought it'd be here for as long as I could.
sure. Oy. I'm a little tired, but I'm alive. Happy Pride Month.
Hell yeah.
Happy Dude Pride, Rock Month, Pride.
Yes, exactly.
It's Mental Health Month.
And Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
True. Don't ask Charlie Kirk though. He doesn't think it should be a federal holiday.
So it is officially a federal, like,
Yeah, no, it
statutory
is.
holiday or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Not in Canada.
Well, yeah. I don't even know what's the history of slavery in Canada. I don't even know what that is.
Let's see. Apparently it existed.
Okay. I mean, do you remember like learning about it in school?
Not in school.
It wasn't. Well, I mean, like, we learned about like the Underground Railroad and stuff.
Oh.
But yeah, Canada abolished it pretty early.
Yeah.
Before, yeah, like 40 years before Britain did.
Wow.
Oh wow.
In 1793.
Always been pretty woke, Canada.
Yeah, I guess so. It's not a bad place. Things seem pretty chill comparatively. It's not perfect.
I don't know. Yeah. I keep seeing fucking like fear mongering on like TikTok or whatever, and people are like, "Oh, Canada has an influx of migrants, and their houses cost $1 million now." And I'm like, "Is that
Our houses
true?"
do cost
I
$1
don't.
million.
That seems like ridiculous. I don't. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore about it. I say every piece of information is just like so fucking like filtered to some extent.
Yeah, so like immigration's been cut in Canada as of Carney becoming prime minister. But who knows exactly what that will mean. But apparently there's like less of it. No.
I wanted to ask about that movie April that you saw at Seattle Film Fest.
Yeah.
Was it as miserable as Threads 1984?
In different ways. Like Threads is a miserable movie throughout, like, and in concept. April is like not as existentially miserable. It's more of like it's like a smaller scale story. So like,
wait, when you say miserable, do you mean like bad or like is it like just tonally that?
oh, it's like tonally depressing.
Oh, okay, I see.
But I would say, yeah, not as. Yeah, it's different. they're not really similar. But yeah, I was recording some of my SIF review today. It's taken so long because I'm just like trying to find days where I don't have like really bad brain fog and I can actually formulate my thoughts. And so I got a third of the video recorded today before this hangout. But I'm still like generally exhausted. I'm waiting for an air conditioner to show up in what is now my bedroom. And it was supposed to show up yesterday, and now the tracking says July 4th.
Is it really hot in Vancouver right now?
Not as hot as like the States, but
Well, Toronto's been
hot
crazy.
enough that air conditioners make sense. But yeah, we'll see.
I just sleep with a fan this close to my face right beside my bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's best I can do.
Yep.
I'm in Southern Virginia, and it was like 102 yesterday without humidity.
Oh, if we're talking about heat, man, you know, I had work this week, and every fucking day I had to work the late night shift, and it was like 97 degrees. I had to work outside. It was not fun to do it. It's like sweating like crazy outside when I was working.
That sucks. That's really
Yeah.
bad.
I was just in Palm Springs recently, and it was like 115 degrees, I think, for like the entire week. It was like so hot.
Dang.
Yeah, I had a summer job doing technically not roofing, but doing work on a roof. And that was difficult. It was fun. It was like a good exercise, but
Mine is getting carts from outside of a parking lot at a grocery store and bringing them back in. That's my job, and it's like it's not like the hardest job ever, but it made infinitely more hard when like each of the carts are different sizes. Only certain carts can fit in with each other and stuff, and then you have to and then on top of that you have the heat to work with and stuff. They do give you free water and Gatorade and sunscreen, so that's at least positive. But it still was like crazy hot when I was working this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the weather's not that hot in Vancouver, and honestly, it feels like it should be hotter right now. Apparently, it will be in the next like 5 days or whatever, but it's been kind of like a delayed summer. I kind of want it to be more sunny.
Today it wasn't that sunny, honestly, when I was out a little bit ago, but maybe that'll change. It was raining like really hard at work yesterday. I still had to do outside work, so that wasn't fun. But I powered through it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for hurricane season to start. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, there aren't really hurricanes in Vancouver, but there will be a big earthquake at one point. We're just kind of waiting.
Yeah, you kind of like on a fault line still up there. Most of the West Coast is generally in North America.
Yeah, I think California is expected to get it worse than us, but there's like an impending big one that's going to happen at some point, but that is supposed to have already happened, and so no one knows.
Have you experienced one there before?
There's earthquakes like mini ones all the time. I've never felt them. But apparently a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I went to the dentist and there was an earthquake, I guess, right as I was showing up. Probably while I was in the elevator because I didn't feel it. But when I got there, people were like nervously leaving. I was like, I'll still go. I got my dental work done.
Open up.
Like a bunch of people just like left because they were too scared to have tools in their mouth while there might be another earthquake. I wasn't getting surgery or anything, so.
Yeah, I've never had earthquake experience in my state, Ohio. Not great state, but I've never experienced an earthquake before. The most I've experienced in terms of weather is either extreme heat which is so it's like up in the upper 90s, or heavy rainfall because I'm in one of those areas that gets a lot of rain.
I live in a place literally called Thunder Bay. It's storms all the time.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was pretty stormy in Georgia. Like whenever they never lasted long, but whenever they happened, the wind would be crazy, the rain would be crazy.
Well, it's like super humid down there, so it's always
Yeah.
fucking, yeah.
Was
When I
it
was in
humid?
Florida,
Was it humid in
Yeah.
Georgia?
I mean, not extremely. Like fucking Ontario summer is too humid for me,
Oh God.
and
Yeah.
Quebec.
Yeah.
But Atlanta summer, I don't know. People say it's humid, but it wasn't that bad for me. Like it was hot, but it wasn't dry. It wasn't like way too humid though.
What's your favorite American city you've been to?
I don't know. The vibes in Seattle and Atlanta are very different, but I like both of those cities. Vegas is annoying. LA is awful.
Yeah, it's fuck that place.
Yeah. Chicago's my favorite place I've ever been in the States.
Yeah, I should explore more in Chicago.
There's not really any great cities anymore. Not really any. I don't know.
Because they're all
There's
woke.
always like a, yeah, that's the problem. There's too many brown people now.
Wow.
Can't recommend it anymore.
That's what woke means.
Yeah.
Too many brown people.
Do you see the I saw like the funniest fucking, it was an MSNBC video I saw this morning. I thought it was like an Onion video, but it wasn't. It was like it was just this fucking, it was a guy named Mads Mikkelsen. Like
The
literally
actor?
Mads Mikkelsen. No, it's just another guy named Mads
Okay.
Mikkelsen. Norway or whatever. And he's just he got like, he was in America, like he came to New York as a tourist, and they like detained him at the airport. ICE did, and they found like a picture of like
Oh, that
JD
guy.
Vance meme, like
Yeah.
baby, yeah. On his
That's
phone.
funny.
He said that's not why they kicked him out. Apparently, it was because of his drug use when he said he did marijuana a couple times a few years ago.
Oh, that's
That was
silly.
the. It's just like
They said
clown
they
show
kicked him out
situation.
because they said he did marijuana before.
Yeah.
Wow, that's also crazy. I mean, like for
Yeah.
them to say no, it's because of this, but it's also equally crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like neither situation makes them look good. I don't understand what the point of even denying it is. I guess the JD
Like what do you say? Like if you say I did marijuana at one point in my past, then it's like okay, so did Bill Clinton and Obama and literally every single person in the States probably.
But you can puff it up at least to some degree with like, you could say like, oh, his admitted drug use or whatever. With the meme, it's like actually okay, like it's just free speech. You can't like, you can't really spin that as well. At least you can't propagandize it as much.
Yeah, but there's no right to enter a country, unfortunately. Like even just visiting, like free speech doesn't really apply when you're crossing a border.
No, not really. I just don't understand. I don't understand. It's just such a fucking clown show situation. It shouldn't be a real thing that happens to anybody. But
they're not doing a very good job promoting their tourism right now.
No. Well, no, our tourism's in the toilet from everything, from my understanding at least. Apparently no one wants to come here for reasons like that. Because of shit like ICE.
I live on a border city. Minnesota is just a 3-hour drive from where I live in Ontario. And I run a restaurant, and this is usually our downtime. There's no real big holidays or anything. Father's Day's done, everything like that. But the amount of guests we're still having because everyone is staying in Canada instead of traveling. But Americans are still coming in. We're doing like record numbers every day.
Nice.
Because people have the money from not traveling to the States and they're spending it here. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy what a difference it's making.
We'll have to see what like the macro situation is after how many years. Because like Carney was saying, like it's gonna hit us hard no matter what. So we'll have to see like how things go economically, but
Yeah, well, just a couple hours ago, I saw in the news Trump did a thing. We're ending all trade conversations with Canada effective immediately. It's like, no shit. We're going into a long weekend for both countries. Like, of course, you're not going to
that's
do
fine.
any trade talks.
I just want the US dollar to stay higher than the Canadian dollar so I get paid more.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's convenient.
I want my economy to tank and the US economy to do great.
There's probably a balance there. Probably the way it is right now is probably pretty good.
Yeah. It's not
Why is it like that again? Why do you?
Because I get paid
like-
in US dollars.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, never mind.
So every
I guess, like, the two
dollar
headquarters-
US I make like $1.30 Canadian. Although we spend our money differently.
And the
and things
cost
are
of living
priced-
is
the-
higher.
Yeah, the price is different. So it doesn't really matter, I guess. But if the US economy tanks, then I'm making less money. Because I get paid in US
Oh.
dollars.
Mhm.
But I mean, there's also
Do you
the
have
thing
custom
that,
business in Canada? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
I
I
didn't
mean,
hear
there's
that.
also
Look random off.
there's been a phrase that has been floating around called taco. Trump always chickens out, so maybe he'll come back to the table or something.
He just seems like he's
I don't know.
indecisive and makes things up as he goes along and doesn't really have any
He's
real
seen
policies.
he literally doesn't make his own decisions. Everyone's just speculating that Stephen Miller is the one who's like just making all the decisions based on him, which is kind of
But to
concerning
me-
because he's like a literal like he Stephen Miller is like a literal white nationalist who has like advocated for white ethno state since at least high school. So that's
Yeah.
a little concerning since he's the ones making Trump's decisions basically. But if you actually hear what Trump's saying, he just sounds like he's just rambling. Every modern Trump speech is just him rambling at this point. Like in 2016, he sounded like way more energetic and at least pretend to know what he's doing. Now he's just sad and senile and miserable all the time.
Yeah.
The F-bomb
But-
drop on national television was pretty good, though.
Yeah, that would have been news if anybody but Trump did it.
Yeah. True.
Obama would have been called a fucking like crazy person. It would have been like 2-week
Yeah,
long
there's-
coverage. of
There's no
just saying
standards.
Mhm.
I got a lot of snacks here. I'm trying a bunch of different ones.
I'm just curious why you prefer Funny Games 2007 over the original.
Because the 2007 is the way that Hanukkah wanted to make it.
Yeah, I see a lot of people tend to prefer the 97 one. I don't really
Because
see
they,
why.
yeah, exactly. Because they think
Yeah.
it's more pure or something. I don't know.
I think it's because of because it has a higher Rotten Tomatoes score or something. I don't know. I usually just see it on Instagram, like just edits.
Oh yeah,
of
like it
instead of
it has a higher score in general. Because the second movie was exposed to more people.
yeah, and I
Like
just
regular audience members went and watched Funny Games US and were like, "What the fuck is this?"
yeah, and by like regular I mean like just European because I can imagine like any Americans having that sort of accessibility back then to
Oh, to the
know.
US one. No, it was put in like US theaters.
The 97 one.
The US one.
Oh, the US one. Yeah.
Honestly, that one scores not being as high kind of proves his point. Like, kind of proves the thesis of the film. And
Yeah.
you think about it,
Yeah, it's funny.
I don't know.
It's kind of like a troll movie in a way.
Yeah.
I consider both Funny Games and Scream as being like my double feature for like
Interesting.
meta horror type stuff. I don't usually see any sort of like meta horror type of films.
Because
Yeah,
meta
like
horror
that.
got boring after a while. Like once you do it, you
Yeah, there's a
gotta,
bunch
like,
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Scream to me was special because it was like, well, I mean, I think it was special to most people because it was like a love letter to the like slasher horror genre for him.
Is
And
yeah.
Funny Games where it's like him saying "fuck you" to the audience and what they want. That's why I think both of them are
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of unique.
I mean,
I was so young when I saw
Kind
Scream.
of,
I didn't.
but-
That all went over my head. I just thought it was like the most badass like thing I shouldn't be watching when I was like what 8 or 9 or something like that.
I think Funny Games is great because, like, sure, it's a criticism of the genre, but it also excels at it in ways that are better than what it's criticizing.
Scream does that in a lot of ways too.
I don't know if I'd say better than what it's criticizing for Scream. In some ways,
Well,
maybe.
That genre has so many shitty movies.
I mean, yeah, but like, it's not better than like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No,
right?
no, of course not.
Also, like Scream is like inherently a comedy, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
A
Scream
horror
is not a
comedy.
movie that you're supposed to take very seriously. Like, you're not
Which
going to
is funny.
feel a lot of emotions from it.
Which is funny because like Scream is one of the only horror movies my mom actually likes, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I was just about to say, like, that's one of the few horror movies that I would see with my parents, you know, and not get like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this with them or
Even
something.
the Scream mask itself is kind of goofy. Like when he's running into a door, or like getting hit with a frying pan.
It's literally like a ghost face.
Yeah.
It's literally a ghost face mask you could buy at like a Halloween store, pretty much. That's why it works so well because it's literally just like a prop you could just buy a generic ghost mask.
Did it
at a Halloween
exist?
That's
store.
Did it
that's
exist
actually
before
how
the
it
movie?
happened.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did
Uh-oh.
before the movie.
Yeah, they actually
because-
bought a real costume. You know, because the ghost face costume was already like a thing, so they had to get the rights in order to use it in the film.
Huh. I did not know that.
I mean, keep in mind, like the original Halloween, Michael Myers' mask was just based off of like a cheap Kirk from Star Trek mask that they just like painted white and cut the eyeball stuff out and stuff and just call it a day, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Cost effective.
Michelle Haneke has never won an Oscar.
He should have for
He's been
for Amore. I never understood.
Well, it
Argo
won
winning
foreign
Best Picture.
language.
Yeah.
But he didn't win it because it went to Austria.
Oh, true. Yeah, I just found out this year that the Oscars just go to the country. You know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, after seeing Latvia.
So like he gave a speech, but he doesn't get to keep the Oscar.
Yeah. You know, at least there's your you know, you're on stage in Hollywood and you know, big night for you. You know,
What
closest thing you'll get.
radicalized me? I don't think Park Chan Wook has ever even been nominated for
No.
one for anything.
No.
That's
Maybe
like
this year.
insulting.
Yeah.
That's like
They just Neon, I believe, just acquired his new film, No Other Choice. So
Yeah,
it'll get
exactly.
yeah,
a wide
very
It's
exciting.
gonna get a wide distribution. I'm hoping it plays at TIFF when I go
Same.
later this
Yeah,
fall.
I think there's a good chance. TIFF
Yeah.
TIFF gets a good amount of, because like it was made for Netflix too, but then Neon acquired distribution rights for like,
Hollywood
North America. or
loves
something.
Bong Joon-ho. You know, like they at the Academy Museum.
I didn't know it was
in
on
Los
Netflix. Let me
Angeles.
look this up. Hold on.
They have. Oh, okay.
I might be wrong, but that's what I heard.
I'm gonna look this up. Hold on a second.
Pretty exciting that Denis is directing the next James Bond. I think that's a perfect.
About that though,
Who is?
So he is
Mhm.
doing the next James Bond, but apparently, one of the contract stipulations is that he's not allowed to have final cut privileges.
Fuck
so-
that!
I doubt,
Why even
I
get
doubt
him?
that's-
Why even
he
get
was-
him? Fuck
yeah.
that shit.
I doubt he's going to stand for that. He doesn't. I mean, I've only seen
It's
interviews
so
that strike me like the kind of director to put up with that. I guess it comes down to the studio, but
bullshit.
now that it's bought by Amazon, who knows what the.
Well, maybe I was wrong about the Netflix thing. I don't know why I thought that.
Well, it is being distributed by Neon because I think they posted about that they're distributing it. So that's at least it's getting a
I
release.
probably
Why?
misread on Twitter. I think there was a thing that was like No Other Choice coming later, and it was just like a promotional image. And maybe I misread the account as Netflix instead of Neon.
Maybe. I've
I mean,
only
they
seen
have,
like one
they
still
start with
when they wrap,
any.
so.
They literally start with any in their town. Netflix, Neon, maybe that's what got you confused.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's great that Neon is doing the distribution for that because it means that it could get a wider release somewhat. And it probably means a TIFF release because usually Neon tends to be at a lot of film festivals and pick up a lot of film festival picks.
I'm hoping for that.
I want that. I want the New Yorgos Bungania at there. That's Focus Features, and so hopefully this time with it not being Disney this time, it's gonna get a good distribution deal and also
And a Blu-ray.
be at film festivals. Trying to think what else there is. I'm hoping at the new Luca Guadagnino After the Hunt's going to be there. I'm hoping for a lot of stuff, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, second half of this year could be like genuinely crazy for movies. I hope it is. So.
They already announced the first 5 movies that are going to be at TIFF. I know the new Steven Soderbergh is confirmed to be playing at TIFF. I forget the name of it. And then there's also like 4 other movies that they announced. Yeah, he has another movie coming out this year. He just keeps making movies like constantly.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Holy shit! What the? He's made 3. Okay, I'm not.
Well, one of them was last year.
One of them was last year that just came out in January, and then and they were different distributors as well because Neon did Presents, Focus Features did Black Bag. I don't know who's doing his next film, but
the Christophers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's confirmed to be at TIFF, and then I forget what else is playing there, honestly. But that was the one that stood out to me as films that are confirmed for TIFF already.
Yeah, those are just like the premieres, so the list is going to get a lot bigger.
Throughout July and probably August, we're going to learn more and more, which will be exciting because I can hopefully fill out my schedule.
Okay, so the new Soderbergh, it's not written by the same guy that did his previous 2. And I'm looking at this guy's writing credits, and I don't love it.
Yeah, David was too busy doing Jurassic World Rebirth.
I saw that, actually. I got to see an early screening of that, and spoiler alert, it was really boring and uninteresting.
Okay.
Is the new one coming out?
Yeah, next week, and I saw an early screening on Monday because of the stupid promotional thing called like Mystery Movie Monday, and it was like $5 a ticket, and it was just before. It wasn't as bad as Dominion or even Fallen Kingdom, but it still wasn't good. It was just like it's what you would expect from a modern Jurassic Park movie. If you've seen any of the trailers, you've basically seen most of the action scenes of the film, pretty much. Like you could just predict exactly where it's going to go.
Yeah, I have a friend. We go and see every Jurassic Park movie, always just for probably just a nostalgia thing. Me and my buddy do. I had hope.
That's a bad habit.
What's that?
That's a bad habit.
Seeing Jurassic Park?
Yeah. You're going to feel obligated to see all of them, and they're just going to keep getting shittier.
No, it's like a tradition thing that me and my friend have. Just it is stupid, but it's fun.
To have that.
Hey, I mean, if it's with your friends, I'm sure you'll have fun.
Oh yeah, it's movies. You know, it's not the end of the world, but and we should just eat a bunch of popcorn, just brainless. But I had hopes for this one because it was kind of supposed to be restarting. But
I mean, it's better than the last 2, but it's still.
Well, that's not saying much.
That's funny. ScarJo looks like she doesn't even try in the trailer, so.
And she doesn't try. In fact, I'll say this: like, aside from Mashar Ali, who did a decent job, everyone else just looked like they were sleepwalking. And then, particularly the child actor that's in the film did a pretty terrible job because there's a whole subplot in the film, minor spoilers, but about like her befriending a baby dinosaur, and it was really unconvincing how they do it in the final film, and it really did not help that like that was like that took up a large chunk of the second half of the film pretty much, so it just didn't work at all. And then what else? It's a movie that I already saw earlier this week, and I'm already struggling to remember a lot what happened into it. It was just like, well,
it looks like a big waste of time.
It is a big waste of time.
Nico, what's up?
I just want to say 2 things. I have to leave in a little bit.
Sure.
You forgot to rate Magnolia an 8, Lucy a 2, and Die Another Day a 5 on IMDb.
Die Another Day a 5. That's generous.
Lucy.
Nice.
Worst Bond
Die
theme.
Another Day. Okay. No, I did not forget to rate Magnolia. I just rated it that a long time ago.
Oh,
But the other ones I got. Thank you.
and Nia DaCosta is directing 20 years later, The Bone Temple. Just wanted your opinion on that. Do you
It could
know
be
who
good.
she is?
Yeah, I mean, there was some good stuff in the Candyman remake.
She also
I haven't watched their Marvel shit, and I don't care to, so it doesn't matter.
They literally said that they didn't have any creative control in the Marvel film that they directed, so I don't
Exactly.
think she could take any.
Like, who cares? They've got a
And
movie coming out at TIFF also, but it looks boring, like a old period piece thing that I don't care about. So yeah, I mean, like I hope that Bone Temple's weird.
Alex Garland's still writing
Yeah,
that film, so
could be cool.
I have more faith in that than I do like her doing like other things. Because if it's like the same script writer, then I'm sure it will be a consistent through line, you know. Like,
there's no reason to believe it will be bad because she's directing it.
Candyman was like was well made from a directing standpoint.
Yeah.
It was just a script that wasn't a great. Whereas with this, I'm like, if it's Alex Garland writing the script, I'm sure it'll be good. And I liked 28 Years Later. I really enjoyed it for what it was. It was bizarre. Yeah. I'll give it that much. But
it was fun.
I liked that. I like it when sequels like take a risk and do something completely different rather than like what I just said with Jurassic World, where it's just like, hey, we're doing the same thing again but worse. So whereas 28 Years Later felt different, and I really appreciate and respect that a lot.
So after the Hangout, I'm going to be watching the Patreon movie, But I'm a Cheerleader.
Because that's my recommendation yet again.
Hey, nice,
yay!
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Should I invite Torrican or no?
Sure, go ahead. If he's available.
Okay.
I should mention there's two cuts of the film: a director's cut that's an hour and 30 minutes, and the theatrical cut that's an hour and 25 minutes. So, which cut are you gonna do?
I have an hour and 30. It doesn't say it's a director's cut.
Well, it is a director's cut.
Okay.
So yeah, if that's the version you're going with, then that's the director's cut. Then cool.
Nice.
Director's cut of I'm a Cheerleader.
Yeah, but I'm a Cheerleader. That's the director's cut.
Is the director's
cut?
How
long is that?
What?
How long is that? Is that like the same?
It's an hour and 30 minutes. The theatrical cut's an hour and 25. That's the difference.
Is the director's cut better?
People say it's better. Because I know that all I know about this movie, I've never seen this movie, but I wanted to recommend something for Pride Month because it's June, and this has been on my radar for a bit, and I figured out that like it's one of those movies that got like it didn't do super well critically when it came out, but over time it's got a bit of a cult following, and people seem to like it more and more. So, kind of one of those kind of things. And this has been, and the concept and how people talk about it made it be interesting, and that's why it made me recommend it for Pride Month for your Patreon thing. So. We'll see how it ends up being.
I'm wondering, what is the most family-friendly queer movie? You know, that you could just watch with anyone.
No, I got a good one. Nimona on Netflix, the animated film that.
Oh yeah, sure.
That you can watch that with your family. That's a good one that has queer representation in it.
You ever heard of that Ocean's Wave Ghibli movie that people say that is like an accidental queer movie?
No.
Was that I thought it was the When Marnie Was There was the accidental queer, lesbian like queer film, even though it's not.
Oh man, yeah.
They didn't. I like that one actually. I like that one. I've never seen Ocean Waves though.
Yeah, I've never thought about that one being an accidental one. I think.
Yeah. Look at the cabin.
Yeah.
That's a whole scenario within itself. It's like
I forgot that existed.
Everyone did.
Well, and M. Night just started filming his next film called Remain.
That's a fun title.
Yeah.
These games are getting out of hand.
He's always weird. Yeah, I'll watch any M. Night movie.
How many films is he coming up to? What, like 13 at this point?
Yeah, I wonder actually.
Yeah.
I think he's probably hit 13 already.
he's at least an interesting director to talk about it, if anything else. Like, even if he makes mostly bad movies, he's at least fun to talk about.
I can't believe he has stands now.
Yeah, that's crazy. The people who were like defending, what was it called? Trap?
That's a weird hill to die on.
I don't
They're
even
like-
think they care about the movie. I think they're just people who think that anybody who doesn't like him is racist or something. I don't even think they
husband is
care
the
about the movie.
butcher.
Like the way that people have that conversation, that's what the conversation is basically.
M. Night just tries to be the next Hitchcock, I think. He always blazes Hitchcock all the time in his interviews.
I'm sure he
I
thinks
wonder with
that.
his
Yeah.
early stuff, like all the good movies, was there another person involved? Like, was it what? Just the drop off is so hard to understand. I always wondered if there was like a tie-in with
His
those
brain broke.
early movies, but that someone else was.
No,
partially
he
involved.
was responsible. He was just better at doing things.
It makes me confused on how he even got into NYU in the first place. Because, like, you need to be, like, pretty good. You know, I don't even know what, like, art school standards are when it comes to, you know, like that sort of thing.
I don't think
But
there's that high of a bar to get into an art school.
Maybe it was like the culture change in movies. Like maybe it was just like that late '90s to early 2000s. Maybe it was just like how movies were made back then just fitted his style, and
I think he
tried
just
to
got
adapt.
dumb.
He just got dumbed up.
Yeah. I think he
Yeah.
just broke his brain.
it's like his first movie. Like, you ever heard of his first movie, which is like completely different than any of his other ones? It's like complete garbage. You know?
Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah, I know Electrico watched it for like an M. Night marathon, and he said it was real shit.
I mean,
Yeah, it
there are
seems
certain directors that
uninteresting.
have like really bad debuts, but then eventually make good movies. Like Yorgos started off like a lot of his earlier stuff pre Dogtooth was pretty like nobody liked it, but then Dogtooth came along, people liked that one. Now he's like one of the best directors ever in Hollywood working today.
What's his next movie coming out?
Bugania, that comes out October 31st.
Oh, sweet. Guy pumps
yeah.
him out too.
I remember seeing Kaneda. Is that Yorgos' first film? I remember seeing that, and all I remember is this girl wants a sandwich or something, but she tries to beat her head in the bathroom. I don't know, but I also remember the ending, which is she's just driving this small
Tales of the
car.
Storm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
It's so weird.
Hmm.
Adam, did you ever see the second season of Squidward Game?
Squidward Game? No, I didn't.
Squid.
No. I don't
They're
know
just
when I will or if I will. I still haven't gotten through Last of Us Season 2. I still need to... There's like one more screener that I need to finish from fucking Tribeca, but...
I finished
I'm like
Last of Us
recording my
Season 2, and then I went
shit.
back and listened to the Sardonicast episode where you guys talk about that, because I listened to it at the time without any context of knowing the story and like the details and everything. So that was interesting.
Fuck.
Did everyone here see 28 Years or no?
Not yet.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I watched Jake's review.
I saw a behind the scenes photo of how they filmed every time a zombie gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did that whole,
like
Mhm.
I pan around like a quick pan or something. That,
that thing.
It caught me off guard when it first happened, and I'll be honest. But I eventually I was like, I like when I see stuff like that happen. When I see like directors or like weird camera stuff happen in like big blockbuster films. So it was refreshing to see that in a film like that.
iPhone
And
bullet time.
Yeah, I was like, I understood why they filmed it with like an iPhone, because I kind of thought back to like how the first movie was filmed, because it was filmed with like just a digital camera,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I really like how they kind of like that's gonna be like a whole tradition, I guess, just to film it with like, oh, what's the newest technology you can film with today or something, or like, because they have this whole commentary um on a society or like consumerism or something, and like I think Boyle wanted to make it seem like like people were on surveillance cameras all the time. That's why he filmed it in digital in the first film, I
Yeah, I
guess.
mean it's an aesthetic. I don't know how much it's a commentary, but it's
You can
definitely a
easily do it
vibe.
in a lazy way, but I never thought that the way Danny Boyle did it in both Days and years later was at all lazy. Pretty much, that's how I thought while watching it. Well, I did find at least one interpretation of like each of the films, and this includes the shitty 28 Weeks Later, about how each movie kind of is a commentary about the current political climate. How 28 Days Later was a response to 9/11. 28 Weeks Later was a response to the Iraq War, and how people are now and now they're saying is that 28 years later is like a response to Brexit because it takes place in the UK and
Yeah,
stuff.
it does feel like a very Brexity plot. We were talking about that on the podcast.
Is the filming on the iPhone, the digital nature of it, is it really as noticeable as the first one? Or
I mean, it's not as
technology-
pixelated, but it's definitely you can feel it.
You can tell.
Really, I couldn't really tell sometimes,
me
like
too
near
from the
the end. I
trailers.
was like, how can you get like that sort of, and I don't think it's because of the lighting, because I think, when it's outside, they're using mainly natural lighting. And like I'm just like, it doesn't seem like you can get that sort of look with like an iPhone.
From my understanding, it's like it's filmed and like stored and recorded on an iPhone, but they do have external lenses and
Yeah,
other things that
Okay,
they
yeah, that makes sense.
attach to the iPhone that
like
can
rig
expand.
attachments on iPhones.
Right.
It'd be interesting if they didn't have any of the rig stuff. Just shoot it on an iPhone regular.
Oh wait, did anybody hear about the new category at the Oscars? The
Stunts?
Best
stunt category?
stunts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a
heard
good
about
If anyone's
category.
discussed that. Yeah.
I like that category idea.
Yeah,
in
stunt
all
people-
honesty.
Like finally they did it.
put their lives in danger. So it's pretty fair.
Yeah,
God damn it.
they keep getting killed for no reason.
They got. I just want to know what movie they're going to nominate for it. They're going to do Mission Impossible. They're going to do John Wick. What the?
I don't
fuck
know
are
if
they
it
gonna do?
applies for next year. I think it's like the year after Mission Impossible. Like I don't know if I think it's just like after Tom Cruise would be eligible.
I remember a stunt double died on the set of like one of the Resident Evil movies, but I forgot which one.
Oh, I
A
think it
stunt
was
double.
7. Is there 7 of them? Or is it 6? I think.
Was it one of the
I
Mila
don't
Jovovich
know.
ones?
Yeah, it was the one in 2017.
The final chapter. That's like the 5th one, or I think.
Okay. Nobody knows.
Yeah, because I've never seen any of them. I'm never going to.
Yeah,
But
nobody cares. They're not good.
Although I am curious about the one that Zach Krager is directing really soon, the director of Barbarian. He's doing a Resident Evil. Well, he's doing Weapons first, and then after that, he's doing a Resident Evil film. So, and I'm very curious to see what he'll bring to that kind of thing. But other than that, I don't think there are no good Resident Evil movies, pretty much. But we'll see. Maybe that'll change soon. And then, I'm just trying to think what kind of films are they going to nominate Marvel films, even though a lot of the stunts are CG. If they do stunts,
Depends on the movie, I guess. They like I'm sure there'll be like a for your consideration campaign. Like they'll campaign for the category. So we'd theoretically be able to see some sort of like YouTube behind the scenes thing of any stunts that are actually taking place.
There was a horror movie being filmed in the small city I live in, and it's starring Kevin Durant and Luke Hemsworth, the unknown Hemsworth brother of Chris and whoever the other one is. And they came into the restaurant I run, and they sat at a table in the bar, and their stunt doubles sat across from them at the bar top. And it was very surreal seeing these people who look exactly like each other, but one's a more rough and beat up version.
Yeah, it's funny.
True.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I'm trying to think about like the worst example of a stunt double I've seen.
I mean, there's some
remember-
pretty egregious ones in like Face Off.
I forgot which movie it was, but I remember a movie
There's one where someone falls
where
down the
like
river.
there was like a fat monk who looked like 300 pounds, and his stunt double was like way skinnier. Oh wait, that happened in Bird Box too. Like when the fat chick jumps out the window, she just instantly loses like 200 pounds.
Well, or how about like not necessarily a stunt double, but at the end of Nightmare on Elm Street, where like Freddy Krueger like grabs the woman and then she just magically becomes like a mannequin or something.
Mm-hmm. Shit, Superman's coming out soon.
GoldenEye. That's what I was thinking of.
I gotta get my Superman tickets.
Are you seeing Superman? Okay,
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
I'll see it as well. I'm curious how that'll go. I am curious though if you're gonna at some point do a watch along for the new Wes Anderson The Foundation scheme when it comes out on digital.
I'll do that.
It's a Marvel movie that doesn't seem to be slops, or not Marvel, DC. Fuck, whatever.
Same thing. It doesn't matter. Fucking modern superhero thing.
Nah, DC has a considerably worse track record.
Maybe it'll be a non-ironic normie masterpiece.
I mean,
at least
DC has a worse
normies
track
liked-
record in the DC universe.
At least normies liked Marvel movies. The only people who like DC movies are Snyder cultists.
Has there been
Did you not
like there? I
Dads
don't know.
like DC.
The Dark
Dads
Knight was
love
great,
DC.
but that just wasn't a part of like the recent universe, right?
No,
Like Joker was good.
the Batman was good.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like I don't know what the Suicide Squad was decent, and then I don't know what else is there. Is V for Vendetta considered a DC thing? Because that's technically based on a DC
Technically.
property.
I mean, Ralph does.
Yeah, I forgot that V for Vendetta was a comic book thing. There's a lot of things that are just
Oh yeah, it is.
based on original or previously existing literature of some kind. There's no.
No
It's the
original
cat's
idea.
I mean,
comic
it's not
book
that there's
movie.
no original ideas. It's that they're just not being funded and they're not being nurtured.
Is there any update on Nirvana the band, the movie, when that's going to be coming out?
Neon acquired it like usual, so and it's
For the
getting,
U.S.
I could be wrong, but I could have sworn someone said it's coming out in September, but I could be completely. I'm gonna look this up.
My understanding is that it'll be released later in the year.
I'm dying to see that.
So am I.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it easily in Canada. But yeah, Neon doing it for the States is pretty cool.
That's great.
I hope that like somehow they manage to like with the movie coming out maybe as an excuse. I hope they manage to get the rights situation figured out with the show. Cuz it would be cool to like have it on a streaming service. You know, it would be awesome to have a Blu-ray. It would be awesome for season 3 to get finished.
It's got a 4.5 on
I thought it just
Letterboxd.
needed to be released. I didn't know it still needed to be finished.
Like
so it
a
is
good amount of it's shot, but like it's not finished.
So it is confirmed. So here's the thing. So it's coming out September 12th in the United States, but only in limited capacity. So maybe it'll be one of those things where they release it on that day, but then the following weeks they give it a wider and wider release. So that's what's happening for Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. That's at least that's at least what Wikipedia is saying, and their source is like a movie date website, pretty much.
That would suck very much to have to drive 3 hours to go to the States to watch an extremely Canadian film.
I'm sure it'll get a white Canadian release eventually.
I know.
Right? Like why wouldn't it? You know?
I mean, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's got distribution from
Yeah.
whatchamacallit. I don't know, the Canadian thing.
CBC, is that what? Who's
No,
distributing it?
it's
One?
it's the same thing that did like I'll just look it up. It's a name that I just forget right now.
Is it a streaming
Elevation Pictures, yeah.
Oh,
They had distribution in Canada before Neon picked them up for the States. So Elevation Pictures will be distributing it in Canada for sure.
I was watching an interview with them, and one of the questions was there any pressure to name the movie something different because it sounds so
It's a mouthful.
confusing to people who don't understand? And Matt was saying how it's kind of like the barrier you need to cross. Like you get the obscure nature of what the product is by buying in. If you can accept the title,
Yeah.
The 1-inch wall.
And also, like, it adds to the charm, and it kind of tells you that it's a comedy without knowing anything about it. Like the title makes it clear that it's got a sense of humor and knows what it is.
I think in hindsight it's easy to say that, but I remember when I was living in Toronto and I first heard about it, and it was just very confusing.
The movie or the show?
Just the name, the show, sorry.
Yeah.
When I heard about that, like in Now Magazine or something like that, I was just like, it honestly turned me off of it. It wasn't until your review of it that I gave it a chance. But because at first I was just like, this sounds ridiculous, essentially. But it's just, yeah, I think it just can come off as very confusing for people who aren't recommended it and just kind of see it blindly.
Mm-hmm. Matt Johnson told me that one of my fans went up to him and said that they found his stuff through me, and that he said that they were very clearly on the autism spectrum.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean,
it checks out.
What do you expect?
It's probably a furry. We need more people saying that they found stuff through me. Well, actually, I think it already happens a good amount.
When I went to see Hundreds of Beavers, there were like a lot of trans people. It was kind of funny.
Nice.
Before I got a Letterboxd account, it was mainly Adam who I went to go find these obscure foreign and indie movies.
There's good movies all the time.
Yeah, I like you've introduced me to a lot of my favorite directors actually.
Good.
I like Yorgos and Park Chan-wook are two that are definitely up there. So that's always a fun to hear. Actually, one movie that I'm hoping plays at TIFF because I got a release date. I really hope Chris Stuckman's horror film Shelby Oaks plays at TIFF because it's got an October release date recently.
I don't think that's likely.
Well, it's got distributed by Neon, so maybe it will.
Yeah, but it was also like Fantasia last year. So I don't know how. Well, like it's possible, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm just curious because this is literally going to be my first ever TIFF, so I'm just thinking about all the possibilities of what it'll be. Even though I'm not doing the entire festival, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been introduced to a lot of stuff by you. Old Boy being by far the best.
Hell yeah.
I've never heard of. And then once you see that movie, it just opens up a whole world of other stuff if you've never dived into.
Yeah.
After showing my dad Old Boy, because we watched it together, he became in love with like Korean films.
Nice.
And
my God,
he really
awesome.
loved The Handmaiden as well. I showed him The Handmaiden. Yeah.
I remembered I have to do
Things is
some
like
fucking shit
my
for my
favorite
arms.
movie. I probably wouldn't have watched that without you.
Nice.
Which one?
Poor Things is awesome.
Poor Things.
I gotta watch that a second time. I just wish there was a fucking 4K Blu-ray. I'm pissed at Disney.
Yeah, I had to buy like a digital 4K.
I mean, I guess it's crazy that like Disney would be associated with that movie in the first place, but I guess.
I mean, it's Searchlight Pictures. At least he's no longer
It is
working
weird
with
seeing
Disney.
it on Disney Plus.
It's at least good that he's no longer working with Disney. He's working with Focus Features going forward, it seems. So at least he's like stepping away from that.
Like Wes Anderson stopped working with Searchlight, right?
Yeah, because Phoenician Scheme and
Really?
Natural City are. Yeah, because his most recent film, Phoenician Scheme, is also Focus Feature. Same with his last film, Asteroid City.
Seems like any director worth anything just stops working with Searchlight because, like,
yeah, I'm glad to
they
hear
just
that.
they consistently
blows.
just don't even distribute the movie properly and then don't give it a proper physical release. Like,
yeah. We did
go with somebody else.
we did like a limited release and nobody watched it, so we're not doing a full release.
Yeah.
It's like nobody watched it because it was a limited release.
Yeah, it didn't blow up like fucking Napoleon Dynamite, so nobody wants to see it.
Ugh.
I actually think I saw Poor Things before you gave it a rating, actually, and I was because I was like, this was on my radar for a bit, and I was just like really like because I didn't watch a single trailer for it, and I was like, oh my god, this is like just pure cinema, like something I haven't seen before kind of experience, you know?
Yeah, I think that's my favorite Yorgos. I still haven't seen it a second time, but like
it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Oh my god. Poor Things watch along sounds rad.
That would be so cool.
That'd be fun. Yeah, that was a movie that I hyped up so hard and it still exceeded my expectations.
I also loved Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that was like another one you recommended.
Nice.
Then I went.
Yeah, I was happy that turned out the way it did. I just so happened to get like a early screening in Atlanta. They were doing like a thing, and I got like the last seats when I realized it was there, and I was like, "Damn, it was a crazy movie that I got to recommend before anybody else even saw it."
What's your job?
I am very excited about Begonia, his next film. I find it interesting that it's. I do
That's
find
a very
interesting
strange
that,
one.
I
What's
do
the
find it
premise of that?
fascinating. Well, for one thing, it's a remake of a Korean film called Save the Green Planet. The premise is, I guess, it's just what the description says. It's like it's about two guys who believe their boss for the company they work for is secretly an alien, so they kidnap her, and that's the entire. And then there's more to it, but that's all I'm going to say for now.
Okay.
I avoided the trailer just because I know I'm going to see it anyway.
I caved and watched it. It didn't spoil much, thankfully, so I'll say that much. But
there's certain directors I'm just not going to watch the trailer.
Yeah,
a lot of trailers do spoil shit. I remember watching the Everything Everywhere All at Once trailer like after seeing the movie, and it was like, what the fuck? You spoiled like so much shit.
Yeah, it's best to just go in blind because like the story is written like in the order that you're supposed to receive the information.
Yeah.
I think the 28 Years Later trailer, like it was able to convey the, expected emotions.
Yeah, that didn't give away anything.
Yeah, it didn't give away.
More like
how many trailers convince you to see a movie that you wouldn't already be seeing? I guess. Too,
I mean, a bunch.
We need more directors making their own trailers, like fucking PTA.
Yeah.
Or Christopher
PTA
Nolan.
meeting.
Yeah.
I just feel if it's an actor I like or a director I like, I'm gonna probably see it anyway. But I guess you're right. It will convince you if you've never heard of it. Then you're seeing a trailer, hearing about something for the first time.
So do I even have a Blu-ray for Poor Things? Like I might not have bought it thinking that it might get a 4K at some point, but I guess that's never happening, right?
Or maybe I don't know.
Criterion
Disney sometimes
or
does
some
Criterion because Disney has done Criterion. So they did Wally Criterion. They did what was that one gay film that they produced under Searchlight Pictures? Strangers.
Yeah.
All Criterion surprised me.
They did a Criterion of this movie. Like Criterion did this restoration of this movie called The Wiz.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Like that Black Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I find that strange, but I get it because it's like a Sidney Lumet movie, but why that?
I mean, there's tons of Criterion things that aren't like masterpieces, but they're just like, weird enough that I don't know, or like culturally relevant enough or interesting.
Was the sequel?
Isle of Dogs.
Yeah, Isle of Dogs is getting a standalone 4K.
And French Dispatch as well. They're also doing.
I'm wondering if I should get that. Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm not getting it
Oh,
like
Flow.
soon. I want to fucking save my money again, but
I need to
Yeah,
watch
I
Flow
feel yeah,
still.
because I'm gonna spend a lot of money on TIFF, so well for TIFF tickets and probably
Yeah.
restaurants and stuff, and
I
so I don't
like
want to like waste my money.
with all
We're
the
gonna be poor
expensive
things.
shit that I've been needing to spend my money on, like recently, like
Maybe
Yeah.
just ask for it as a Christmas present next or something. You know, you could just wait.
I'll be
for
right back.
to
I'm
ask
getting a
us-
phone call.
Okay. One of the ones that I always found fascinating was on there was This Is Spinal Tap, which is a film from which is like a comedy film, and that's an interesting Criterion pick. And then
Oh yeah, my mom loves that movie.
I love that movie too.
yeah, it's getting a re-release, I think, really soon by Fathom Events. So that'll be fascinating. I'm trying to think what else there is. If there's, I have not bought any recent physical copies of films, mostly just because I've just been like trying to save my money with stuff and trying to be more conscious with stuff, especially with the TIFF trip coming up. So it's kind of a case of like, what should I spend money on? Though I do, that Wes Anderson box that I want to get, but at the same time, I'm just like, fuck, it's so expensive. I don't know if I want to get it right now.
Kind of wonder. I think I know why. Do you know when Wes Anderson was like he won an Oscar for his short film and he wasn't there? I'm starting to think like he wasn't there because there wasn't any seats available.
He wasn't there
for-
because he was filming the Phoenician Scheme while the Oscars were happening. Literally, that's what's
Oh,
like. Literally, he was in
uh,
the middle of filming his new film, and apparently the reason he's able to make so many movies so quickly is because he apparently just pre-plans all of his stuff out like way ahead of time, and then when he's ready to shoot, he can just shoot it like that. And he's apparently one of those directors he's one of those directors that people like working with so much that he gets actors to come back for almost every movie he does. That's why Bill Murray is in all of his movies. That's why Scarlett Johansson's in a lot of his movies, despite being much lower budget than the movies she's usually in. And that's why he's able to get a bunch of actors to come in. The Phoenician Scheme was fine. It had some good parts of it, but it also at points felt like Wes Anderson on autopilot because it just kind of, you know how everyone has that one Wes
That's
Anderson.
how I felt about French Dispatch.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know how
It's
everyone
like-
has that one Wes Anderson movie that they're just like, this is just Wes Anderson being kind of like his usual self, and it's not working. That's what I felt watching Phoenician Scheme. And there's great parts in it. I thought Tom Hanks, when his character showed up, was actually a highlight of the film. But then a lot of it was also kind of just like, yeah, this is just Wes Anderson as his usual stuff. Not bad, but not.
He's kind of
bad.
I
doubling
heard
down
Wes
on
is
his,
trying to do
his
like
style. He's kind of going all out these past three.
yeah.
He's really doubled
He
down.
works best when he's doing a stop motion film. That's one of my favorite of his is Fantastic
I
Mr.
agree.
Fox.
I love Dogs too. That movie gets way too much hate. I fucking love that movie.
I love Dogs. That's like
I don't
my
think it gets
second
that
favorite
much
movie.
hate.
I see a lot of it just from like the YouTube movie community, or maybe not hate, but kind of.
I think it's just terminally online weirdos, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
It's a
Reddit
weird
rooms.
movie, but I mean, it's good for what it is.
What was the first Wes
People
Anderson
call-
you guys saw?
Because people consider it like
Fantastic Mr.
racist
Oh,
Fox.
I think
or whatever.
yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I saw
I
it in
literally
person
saw that.
when I was
older
saw
than you
Fantastic I saw Fantastic Mr. Fox in a theater when I was younger, actually, because
Oh wow,
I
that
got
would've been-
really, really lucky with that. And
I think
wasn't
Isle of
huge.
Dogs was my first.
wow.
Yeah.
I wanted so bad to go see Isle of Dogs when it came out back in
It's
2018.
hard. They barely
You know,
released
but
it.
I just didn't have time.
My
remember
theater
I know
player
you
is
could barely
starting.
but for some
I remember
reason-
starting Tenenbaums, but not finishing it. Like back in high school.
That was my first.
I like that one. I've seen every movie that he's directed, and including the most recent one. And you know, even though I wasn't huge on Phoenician Scheme, I can't say he's a bad director. He hasn't made a movie that I just flat out hate. You know, he hasn't made anything that I consider bad, but his worst is just okay. You know,
He's
At
very
first, he's the one I like
idiosyncratic. You know,
he's one of those directors that's like you can definitely tell it's his style when he directs a movie, but he's also one of the few art house directors that like normies can enjoy. You know, like
yeah.
That
My
aesthetic
mom
is so
likes it.
likable. That simplistic, everything's square and like
Everything is so OCD and eccentric.
yeah, yeah. The quirky dialogue.
Yeah, it kind of a lot of times it reminds me of Adventure Time. Just on this because he has this weird little like beats. You know, when someone's talking, you know, it's a very formulaic and kind of like I don't know. I don't want to say Wes Anderson-esque because you know that I mean that is what it is.
Mhm.
You know, but you
Okay.
know they're using words that are like not even real.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
likes to use little like small acts of violence, like a little slap across the face at a weird time, or like I've just noticed that in a lot of his movies too.
You know, a lot of very deadpan deliveries
Yes, yeah.
and everything.
Who?
Wes Anderson.
Just talking about the stuff that makes up his style.
Yeah.
I never see anyone put him as like in their list of like favorite directors ever.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I know
a
you
couple
said
of
that you
people.
put it on the list.
Kind of cool the evolution of the actors he likes to work with too. You always almost always throw someone kind of new in there.
Does the Wes Anderson archive include the Netflix shorts or no?
No, it's every movie except for Asteroid City and the shorts and the most recent one that just came out,
Okay.
Phoenician Scheme. But it has every other one. It has you get Fantastic
So all
Mr. Fox
the
4K.
just literally up to French Dispatch. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. 25 years. Wow.
French Dispatch was probably the first one I've seen in theaters.
Huh.
I think.
Yeah, I saw
Fanta-
that one in theaters.
It's
and
always like, man, I
didn't
love
love it.
that there's this 4K collection, but it's like they're just gonna have to make another one. You still making movies.
Yeah.
Might as well make it when he's dead.
Give me a fucking Hanky Chan 4K collection. I swear to Christ, if Criterion releases one and it only has the Austrian version of Funny Games, I'm gonna commit Minecraft.
There's like a
I'm
box
pissed
set where it has
that they
3
did-
I
movies.
prefer the Austrian version, but that's just
Why?
me. I like it more. I like the performances more.
Alright.
I liked a lot of the color choices more.
But it doesn't have the director of The Brutalist.
All right.
Is that on
Corbet.
streaming?
Is what streaming.
Brutalist?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just didn't like the whitewashed aesthetic of like the remake.
That's
You can watch
interesting.
the remake for free on YouTube. Somebody like just illegally put that on there.
Nice.
So it's awesome.
I like that the American remake, like when I bought it, like I could only get a version that was like Region B,
Yeah.
even though like the entire point of the remake was to make a version Americans would watch.
I have a Region A Funny Games. But yeah, they're difficult to find. I'm just looking at the trailers for the original Funny Games versus the new one. Because maybe your copy just had weird color grading.
I remember
want
it could have been the TV I was watching.
Yeah, maybe.
on.
Like I don't see I don't see much of a difference at all in the color grading from what I'm skimming through here.
I just remember the color grading and like the first one was, like more colorful and like the second one way more like white.
Did Roger Ebert even like did he ever talk about Mikhail Haneke at all?
Yeah, he did he reviewed a bunch of his movies. I remember reading one for like the White Ribbon.
Did he do one for Funny Games 2007?
I'd imagine. Let's see. No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait. Yeah. There's one on his website, but it's not from Roger Ebert. It's by a guy named Jim Emerson. And he gave it half star.
Oh, of course.
Oh my god. I kind of don't like Roger Ebert. I think
Yeah,
he's kind of
well, he's dead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's dead. I don't really like hate him either though, because like I always see people like complaining about his opinions, and it's like whatever.
He only sees
His takes are his takes. I don't care.
He sees like the most mainstream indie films, if that's if that makes
only
any sense.
thing
Just to be
he
friends with
ever
the directors.
The only thing Roger Ebert ever said that pissed me the fuck off was that like video games weren't art. That was
Oh yeah,
like,
and he doubled down on it.
ridiculous.
That was just like an old man syndrome thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Old man moments.
Yeah. His
like,
review for Taste of Cherry was also incomprehensible. Like he's got a bunch of weird ones.
Yeah, that was like I don't really care about his reviews. It was just
And he hated the thing.
what he said about games that like just really lowered my opinion of him.
Not that it matters, but what year around did he say that?
I mean, there was all, you know, it was in the
probably before
PS3
that.
generation.
So
really?
before
it's not-
that
yeah,
whole
it's not
jaw
like-
thing.
Oh, so there was already literally no question.
Yeah, it's not like the only games that existed were like
Duck Hunt.
Pac-Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Like this was in the PS3 generation.
Okay. Yeah.
He was just
he didn't seem to mind when like it was just like classic games like I think he did like a commercial or like some weird thing for like the Sega Genesis a while back, but it was like
Yeah, I
a really
heard
long
he
time
used to
ago.
Yeah, I'm not
Play
saying those aren't
games.
hard either, but
He literally like played the original like Sonic the Hedgehog on TV once or something like back in the 90s. So or something Sega related.
Was he asked to do that?
I think
I
it was
can't
just a
imagine.
TV. I think it was just a TV thing. So I don't think he really cared that much.
we never played the Goose Game.
Yeah, Ebert gave Cache 4 stars. Amore 4
4 stars out of
White
5?
Ribbon 4
I don't believe
no,
that
4 out
man
of 4.
ever played a video game. I don't think he ever probably played it.
No, he probably never played
Of
a
course
video game.
not. Look at him.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah. Maybe Minecraft. He's dead. So
The lowest rated film that Ebert reviewed of Hanukkah is The Piano Teacher, and that's 3.5 stars out of 4.
And that's funny.
So it's safe to say if he did a review,
Did
of
you
any of
review
his
Satan
others, that they'd
Tango?
be probably higher.
Schedule 1 is a good
I'm
game.
sure he did.
I'd be surprised if he liked that more than the thing, you know, because I don't understand why. Like, I think he was hired
Yeah, I
by.
guess he didn't.
I think a lot of people just wanted to push that, like hating the thing, so they just told him like, "Hey, can you just say that the thing is bad?"
Who? What?
Yeah.
You're getting conspiratorial. What you're saying doesn't make any
I don't
sense.
know. It's like how I don't understand. It's not a bad movie. Like everyone changed their minds as soon as it hit like the rental stores and stuff. So
I don't know. Maybe it was like I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was like to watch that film in the 80s.
oh wait, I think if I can remember, I think I know why. Because E.T. came out that same year and people were just in favor of like, oh, a happy alien movie over a evil, bloody carnage alien
I
movie.
think
You're making a lot
The
of assumptions.
Thing was like
Yeah.
nominated for worst score at the Razzies, which is like
That's a bit much.
that's fucking crazy. The
Yeah, it's a good
Thing's
score.
Score is incredible.
I
Yeah.
mean, the Razzies nominated Shelley Duvall for Worst Actress at the
Yep.
for The Shining, and didn't they
Kubrick
also
worst director for The Shining.
give Kubrick as well?
I just imagine one of the people at the Razzies was like some fucking dork who just really loved Stephen King and was like, but it's not like the books.
Read the book actually, and it just I can't imagine it ever being like accurately portrayed on screen and having the same reaction as
well, Stephen
reading the
King
book.
did it. He
I
did
mean,
it.
yeah,
know,
Stephen
he
King
did.
made
It's
his
like,
own,
what-
like Shining miniseries, and it was terrible.
The book is good though. Like the story is
What
good.
rational thought did he have? Like, oh yeah, this is so gonna work. Like, no, dude. I don't understand it. I don't even understand like how
well,
people liked his books back then and be like,
The
yeah,
acting
this is scary.
brilliant. But the book itself is, I think, is freaking awesome. It's one of my favorites of his.
Yeah, you know,
You
The
can
more-
adapt something and it can be different. Like, be okay with that.
My
When you-
favorite Stephen
I guess,
King
yeah.
adaptation is Carrie the Musical.
That sounds good. That sounds
Yeah, that
really
was like a
interesting.
real thing.
I
It
have
was,
to look
like,
up the song
considered
titles
wor-
for that.
It was considered like the worst Broadway play ever made.
I gotta look up the track listing for that.
Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark might be worse though.
Oh, I've heard about that one.
They damn near killed people.
Yeah.
One
with
of the
Turn Off
actors, one of the
Dark.
Yeah, literally, like one of the Spider-Man actors like almost like died while
Yeah,
in
there was a
rehearsal or
great
something.
video by Wait in the
Honestly, that
Wings
should get some
about both
award.
of those plays actually, and yeah, there was one part where like Spider-Man jumps off a bridge and he realized, "Oh God, I'm not tethered to anything," and he fell like into the fucking orchestra pit or something. He lived, thankfully, but it was really bad.
That sounds worth it, though.
Here's
As
a
like,
Propose that Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Also, shut the fuck up. God damn it.
Come on.
There
I'm
was
just
also
reading.
one time when Spider-Man like snapped free, I think, and he just kept like swinging back and forth on a rope and he couldn't like get down. So like stagehands had to grab him while he was swinging, and people in the audience, whenever they got close to like catching him, were like, uh, uh.
That sounds amazing.
did it ever make it to Broadway?
Yeah, it did, and it was very expensive because they had to completely revamp the theater for what was basically a Cirque du Soleil act, if anything, which Broadway is not fucking meant for.
I think it, if I heard correctly, like Phantom of the Opera was the most expensive, like the ones like the newer ones they did.
They got Julie Taymor, who directed like the Lion King fucking Broadway show,
You have to
and like
install that big chandelier too and everything.
yeah, also like one of the characters, Arachne, was just like stuck in midair and like they were struggling to get her down.
I love that stuff. I love that. Those.
One time a rope came off and like smacked her in the head and gave her a concussion. It was like a nightmare.
I'm reading Roger Ebert's review of The Thing, and also the 2011
yeah?
one. He touches back on like the original, and like there's so many. Like you can just pick random Roger Ebert reviews, and he does a lot of things that like people give me shit for, you know.
Yeah.
But he's like lauded as like the most important critic, and then like he definitely popularized film criticism, and he has a lot of really thoughtful
Yeah,
I feel like
commentary on films. But
nowadays a lot of people don't like him.
oh yeah, nowadays a lot of people don't like him for sure. But he's still
more legitimate if
he's
you have
still
a few bad
highly
takes.
regarded.
If you have a few
He
bad takes,
was quite regarded, in my opinion.
He's always been regarded.
Very regarded.
That's what makes people people. Like everyone has their different tastes, so there's going to be a few things you like that other people are the larger.
Yeah, I don't really care that he didn't like movies I liked. I just
Oh
had
yeah,
issues
no,
with
I'm just talking
his
about the way
take.
he justifies it sometimes. Like it's like a
Yeah.
clear misinterpretation of how things in the film work.
At least he's not one of those people that just like one of those critics that turn their review into like their next big novel or something, you know.
Yeah.
That's boring.
That's probably why he was so, I guess, successful, because he was so blunt, maybe.
Depends on the movie. There's some reviews from
I
him
guess.
where I like still don't know why he thinks the way he does by the end of reading it.
Because he can't think critically.
Wow.
Yeah, got him.
Well, he can't. He's dead. His brain is rotten
Yes.
mush.
And now he's in an urn in his wife's house or something. I don't know what they do with it. What do you do with his body?
I wonder what's going to happen to my buddy. I'm on the list of donating to science.
Yeah, donate yours. That's
Maybe
for
they'll
the best.
shoot me out of a cannon for fun.
I remember there was like one guy who like donated his grandma's body to science, and it went to the military, and they blew it up in
That's
like
fun.
a missile test.
Like, what's the point of that? Like, why do you need a real body for that?
I don't know. He
Money
wasn't
on a
very
cast-
happy about it.
I can't
Yeah, it seems
imagine
like a
paying
waste.
for like paying for anything when it comes to death. Who cares?
Can't wait until my existential crisis starts in my mid-40s.
Oh, it'll start much earlier than that, my friend.
Looking forward to it. I've already seen Synecdoche like many times.
So you know what to look for.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll see the signs. I'll be like, oh, Synecdoche reference or some shit.
My milk is expired.
Already?
And I'm in a cartoon.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah, that's what happens in Synecdoche.
I was actually having this argument with a friend saying how like he was saying how Interstellar is like one of the most complex movies he's ever seen and he compared it to like
Who?
Rick and Morty. Just a friend that I know.
Oh.
And he was saying like, oh, it's so complex and stuff. And for some reason comparing it to Rick and Morty in the sense that like people say that you need to have a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
I was about to
And
say,
say
you
like
gotta have
tackle
a high IQ
things
to
like
understand Interstellar.
I know, but like I told him, okay, just because they tackle certain science topics and quantum physics or anything like that doesn't mean that the movie itself is complex or abstract. And I told him about Synecdoche, New York, about how like that is inherently like my definition of like a complex, like down to earth, I guess, abstract film, that really gets you to think, because the movie within itself, the entire thing is like, even the world, around it is like made to help like the audience see like symbols and everything every time you watch it and all that. Yeah. Referencing, Adam's review and all that.
Well, it looks like the fucking digital 4K of Poor Things has HDR, but not the Blu-ray. So I can't buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So give this man a Blu-ray of Poor Things.
I just like I like to have the physical thing, and I like to I like to support the artist, and I'm not like, I'll buy some things on digital where I'm watching them frequently enough that the convenience of owning it is beneficial. But for something I'm not watching like several times a year, why would I buy it on digital? It's like you don't even own it. They could take it away at any time.
You can't preserve it.
I don't have any digital video games, which is inconvenient a lot of the time. But
yeah.
But then you can sell them after.
I kind of get it, but it's also not something I'm like super paranoid about, so I don't like worry that much about like digital purchases.
Yeah, but it's like if it's not fulfilling the convenience, then it's pointless.
If you can get the product in a physical copy.
I also have an issue with like losing discs and shit. I bought a fucking physical copy of like Elden Ring for like Xbox Series X, and the fucking disc stopped working.
Boo.
And
maybe you
like,
should take better care of it.
It was brand new, bitch.
You said stopped working.
It worked like once and then never again. I didn't do anything to it.
Okay.
I took perfectly good care of it, asshole.
I don't know.
I don't think he believes you.
If you're losing discs, then that gives me an impression.
Oh, come on.
What?
Whatever.
Show some disc respect. Come on.
Dr. Disc Respect.
Damn.
Yeah. They've got a doctorate in respecting discs.
He's got a doctorate in disrespecting minors. Anyway.
Yeah, we got Superman. Is there anything else interesting coming out?
Eddington, the new
I was
Ari
just
Aster.
Oh yeah, Eddington. That's pretty soon.
I thought you
it's
said
July
Paddington
18th.
at first.
It's Eddington. It comes out July 18th, so you got that. In August, there's Weapons, the new Zach Krager. I don't know what else.
I'll watch that. We'll watch it.
I,
Yeah, we don't
I
have
don't like
have
where
showtimes for Eddington and Vancouver yet.
Frankenstein will be good, probably.
Which one?
The remake of Frankenstein.
Is that Del Toro?
Yeah,
I
Del
don't like
Toro.
the way that looks. I don't know.
I'm hoping that people are saying that might be playing at TIFF because Del Toro is apparently really friendly with TIFF, so that might be another one to look out for.
He is. He filmed fucking Shape of Water at one of the TIFF theaters.
I didn't know that one.
Interesting.
And
I
I
don't
saw
know
the
if
movie in that theater, and it was really weird.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you
Shape
like
of Water.
recognize the rooms?
I mean, yeah, it was the room I was sitting in.
Nice.
Wasn't it leaking like in the movie?
Yeah.
Like the theater, yeah.
I'm sure they had like a
Hot
For a
tub
more
different
cinema
immersive
club
version of-
experience.
moments.
yeah.
They should have had it leak in the theater.
Yeah. They should have
What's
drowned
up?
us.
Is Hot Tub Cinema Club still doing shit?
Apparently.
That's a good. That's such a funny story.
That was a weird
That
one.
was hilarious.
Yeah, that's a
I just-
great like YMS video.
The visual of the leaking from when you guys were outside. And
That
it's
was- yeah.
leaking from
What a
the light.
disaster. They just fucking dipped. Like, I'm sure they didn't pay anything. I
And
think
the
they
fact
just
that
left.
Yeah,
The damage cost of that must be ridiculous.
Yeah.
you said it became like a conservative headquarters or something.
Underneath, yeah.
Yeah,
I like how the film that you had to watch was like a pirated version of Anchorman. That was
Yeah.
funny.
And I
with
had to,
no
I had to fix
subtitles
it.
or
you have to help
audio.
them with the tech of it too. Did you have to like figure out the audio or something for
Yeah,
them?
I fixed it.
Oh my god, what a shit show!
Yeah. And the tubs were way too small. Like, they were way smaller than they advertised.
Did that video get a lot of reach? Like, did anyone ever reach out to you from the company or anything, or is it that? Like,
Well, I
small?
talked to them the day of the thing because I fixed their fucking movie. But
Did they have any follow up, or
no.
they were just like, let's forget about this?
It's kind of
Yeah.
cool. They just trusted you with that.
Well, I mean, otherwise they couldn't figure it out. So
I mean, it just
Yeah.
made them look
I just
really
I
bad.
just
so,
insisted
like-
to try and troubleshoot it because they weren't fixing it.
Must have been a great smelling room as well. All those hot tub right next to each other, nowhere to move, and
It was so
packed.
stupid. And they advertised there would be like you could order a drink from your hot tub, but that wasn't the case. So everybody's just like getting in and out, and the floors are fucking soaked. It was so dumb. Like they didn't
no
have the right
preventions in
venue.
place.
And I get it. Vancouver is expensive. So I'd imagine renting a venue in Vancouver is expensive, but like you can't do that type of event in that area.
What was that, like the first one? Like,
It was the first one in Vancouver.
oh, okay. So, okay, a little bit of an excuse, but still, do like a test run. Like, you gotta try that shit out first. Like, invite some people that you know, and do like a rehearsal of it, and make sure that everything's good to go, and then you do the
Yeah, I like at least for playing the movie.
At least that's the easy part.
Yeah,
God
that
damn.
was so weird. It seemed like it could be fun, but then it wasn't.
As long as they're making their money back, if they're still going along with this.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone's tried to like do anything legally, or like they'll probably just not go back to Canada and they're fine.
It just seems like a lot of money to like set it up and just hoping like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna get our money back.
Well, that alone,
Yeah.
that event alone definitely screwed
Oh,
them
yeah.
over with the
Oh yeah.
damages. And
Seems like a company to like take out loans to begin with.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Let's see what their Instagram is doing. If they're still posting things. I hate Instagram. I hate how I have to
Me
log in to
too.
see this shit too.
Garbage.
Fucking normie app.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't posted since 2018.
Womp womp.
But I swear they were still doing stuff in Australia, like on their Facebook page or something.
What are we gonna do with all these hot tubs? And all these movies.
Well, there's a Wikipedia page for Hot Tub Cinema, and
The
I'm not
movie's
on it.
being pirated is crazy.
What movie was it again?
Anchorman.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, no Hot Tub Time Machine, weirdly enough.
I think maybe one of the
That would've been like
screenings
the
was. I
genius
don't
move.
remember.
Hot tub themed drinks, hot tub themed food. Eat the hot tub.
Hot dogs.
They should have made the hot tub out of cake. They could have done. See what?
How
They
come
coulda
I'm not on
capitalized on that.
Wikipedia? Why do they hate me? I've done relevant things.
You're
yeah,
on,
I don't know why. I think it's kind of fucking ridiculous that you're not on the Kimba page.
Yeah.
Your review is the most interesting thing to happen to the Kimba
It's a
IP.
there's a
in
yeah
like
there was a cultural
decade.
shift.
Is that your
I'm the
biggest
most.
video? Is that your most
I
viewed
did the
video?
most notable thing with Kimba in terms of talking about it.
Is that your most viewed video?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it beat Cool Cat.
Well, and you did it at
Struck
a good
gold with that one.
That came out during the pandemic too, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, it's an awesome video either way, but came out at a time where I know for myself I was watching more YouTube than ever. But
Yeah, so they stopped posting on Instagram pretty much when my video came out. So
Damn,
I
Adam,
might
you
have killed the
killed it.
company. Well, I mean, like, what
You
the fuck?
killed Hot Tub
You expect
Cinema.
me not to talk about my experience?
Flooding the venue is pretty bad.
There's a point where it's not like
that's
there's
too
a
good
big
story
there's a
not
big
to.
difference between me being like this stinks versus like, oh, you probably could have gotten people electrocuted.
Yep.
Like that you
No,
put
wait,
people's
Adam,
lives at
they
risk for no
talked to an
reason.
electrician, remember?
Yeah.
You weren't even really dissing on that hard. You were just like, this is what happened.
Yeah, literally just a pretty basic series of events.
I bet
What business doesn't start with a few safety hazards?
Yeah, and they were dishonest about what they were providing too, so.
Well, that's business. It's not good business.
Apparently.
There's a lot of businesses.
Fucking Australians.
Shout out to Torah and Shark.
I won't be seeing any more Raka Raka movies now because of that.
I don't
Shark and
even
I
consider them
played
to be
Heavy
Raka
Rain.
Raka
It was really
movies. I just
funny.
have Danny and
I like to
Michael
call it that instead
Philippou
of-
or whatever. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, but that's a whole mouthful.
You
I like how like the gayness still, because I saw like a segment on their Instagram. It's like, oh, everyone's still the team's still together. Everyone. I thought, oh, that's pretty sweet. From their YouTube videos.
I'm excited to watch Bring Her Back on digital.
It'll be on digital next month, so you can watch it then.
July 1st, maybe, according to one website that might be lying.
It's crazy though that it's not making like a lot of money. The same as Talk to Me. Is that what it's called? Talk to Me.
Yeah, Talk to Me.
It's a weird title for a horror movie. I would have given a different title.
It's a movie I gave a 6 out of 10 when I first saw it, but it's also the kind of thing where I'm like, I could probably watch this again and maybe give it a higher rating kind of ordeal. Because there's a lot of stuff in it that works, in my opinion. It's definitely a lot darker than Talk to Me when I saw it.
The title "Bring Her Back" makes me think it's a space movie.
Yeah, and the poster doesn't really, because they have this weird green poster, and that kind of really, I guess that confuses a lot of people.
The reason why I feel that way is probably because of the poster for The Martian that just says "Bring him home" and larger than the title. That's probably why. Bring Her Back doesn't sound like a horror movie. Talk to Me
But they can bring her
definitely
back.
somehow works. I don't know why. Bring Her Back is a weird one.
You could've
Also,
easily
the
called it,
title reveals that there's a woman in the movie, which is not good.
Exactly.
That's woke. That's
Spoiler
DEI.
It's like political as hell.
Yeah, if they said bring him back, it would have made twice as much.
Bring them back.
Bring they them. Bring Sir back.
Bring
There
us
was
back.
a movie called They/Them. I remember that.
An urban twist on it. Bring them back.
Was that the one with Kevin Bacon? That
Yes.
They/Them. Yeah, I tried watching that. And I was like, this is so funny bad. But I don't know. I guess I forgot about it because, I made plans to watch it the next day. But, it's so forgettable that it's gone. Gone from my memory.
I mean, it was Jason Blum doing it. He produced it. He seems now just more content on just making like meme movies. Like they just came out with Megan 2.0. They're doing Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So they're just content on making like stupid meme movies that people on TikTok will be like, "Oh my god, I could point at it and laugh," kind of deal.
The Academy the Academy Awards on Instagram, they literally posted today of clip from Megan. And I'm like,
Threegan 2.0?
what the fuck? Why? No, just the first one.
Oh.
Hold on to your vaginas.
I don't have any.
That will echo across all cinematic languages once translated.
Hold on to your hussy.
She did say vagina.
Is
Is
it out? Are people watching?
Yeah,
it
just came out today.
Came out? Oh yeah.
Seen a bunch of people call it a cringe fest, which is not surprising based on the trailer.
I mean,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like now it's time to capitalize on cringe because that clearly gets a lot of attention.
Ebert would have loved it though.
Ebert, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Loved it.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Normie masterpiece.
Yeah, even Siskel.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we should retcon history.
Doxer.
We should pretend like Roger Ebert coined the term normie masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I'm just
Ebert.
quoting Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
Why are you mad?
Well, it was a normie masterpiece at the end of the day.
Yeah, he just says it as like a positive thing.
Yeah.
I know we have the Five Nights at Freddy's movie 2 later this year. I want to know, since we had Matt Pat make a cringe cameo in the first film, are they going to finally do Markiplier in the second film?
Probably.
It's weird he wasn't in the first one.
He apparently was, but scheduling conflicts. Apparently, he was supposed to be in the first one, but he apparently,
right. He was doing Iron Lung, right?
Yeah, scheduling conflicts.
When's that coming out?
He's free.
Did he make that yet?
October, I guess.
Yeah, he finished filming, but I don't know. Maybe he's Iron Lung movie release date. It says 2025, but no official release dates.
What made him want to make that? Because I haven't watched Markiplier in like a really long time.
He probably just really liked Iron Lung.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I can't imagine like
everybody fucking really liked Iron Lung when it came out.
I guess so.
I still haven't played
Simple
it.
but effective.
Oh, fucking Jacksepticeye is listed as being in the film.
As a cameo? Probably. I mean, if it's a cameo,
he's listed
who
as
cares?
voice on speaker number 2.
Well, it's probably just a minor role.
From the morning day, laddies, we're dropping you into a blood.
He's gonna get all like philosophical or something.
Remember
he,
YouTube
make a whole
Red movies?
existential?
I'm looking at
Oh my God.
I'm looking at
I saw that
Jacksepticeye's
thing.
IMDb. The first thing in these photos is Scare PewDiePie, the
that
YouTube
thing,
Red
yeah.
original series.
That didn't last very long.
It
'cause
didn't
he
last
said
very
the
long at all.
N-word not long after.
Well, there was I liked Mindfield,
Museo?
but also Museo. Yeah, Museo is the only good YouTube Red original film.
They stopped doing YouTube Red stuff because they realized it was a waste of time and money. So
Yeah, there was no point.
They have YouTube Premium now, which basically just acts as Spotify Premium, where you get no ads and like you listen to music and stuff for free.
It's honestly it's like the online service I pay for that I couldn't live without. Like if I
YouTube
had to get rid of
Premium's
Netflix,
based as fuck.
well, I'm on YouTube.
It
so
is.
Exactly.
I'm on-
People act as if it's like terrorism, but like I think
Just
the
supporting your
average person,
creators.
if
The
you're
amount of
if you're
time it saves
commenting
me
on
in my life.
Reddit, like you definitely watch YouTube more than like any other streaming service that you have.
Anything. The amount of time that I would have spent on ads in the couple years I've had YouTube Premium or whatever it is, it's crazy. I watch YouTube more than anything.
Yeah.
Especially now that like if you don't have YouTube, ads are on YouTube are like way worse than they were a couple of years ago. Because now it's like you instead of like 1 or 2 ads, it's like 3 ads or 4 ads in a row, and it just gets really annoying after a while. So premium is like a good for what you're getting.
I don't even know.
Premium is good in the sense that you get no ads, and also if you're a podcast listener and you can listen to certain podcasts and stuff, you can download YouTube videos on your phone pretty easily if you're on a car trip. So that's the value you get from YouTube Premium. Pretty much.
You know what's fucking crazy though?
What?
YouTube, even though they killed their original programming and they're just like, who cares anymore at this point? They haven't like removed anything. Like Museo's still up. It's in 4K. Yeah. You can just fucking watch it.
No
like,
real
it's
reason.
It's just there and you can watch it.
All the YouTube Red content?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
For free. They made it all free now, pretty much.
Yeah. Like, do you even need premium to access it? I don't know.
I don't think so. Maybe with like a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, no.
Was The Thinning a fucking YouTube Red thing?
The Logan Paul movie, yeah. That's
what a
still
bad
up.
title.
It was.
Also
yeah, that's still up.
And is the sequel still up?
I don't know.
Too.
Ooh, The Thinning is 2016. Should I add it?
It's not
you're
worth
gonna
it.
watch The Thinning
and The Thinning too, because they made a sequel.
It's a horror movie, right? What is it?
It's a young adult. It's a young adult. One of those dystopian. Remember when the Hunger Games?
It's a teen
dystopian.
I'm like
novel.
morbidly curious about it.
I know the second one has like a commentary on like Trump during his first administration because it came out in 2018 and it was like about
smartest boys and girls got to live
even
here.
people who like I saw a review from someone who like really does not like Trump and even he was like this is like really poorly done commentary on Trump. You know?
Yeah, I'll watch The Thinning.
hairline.
So
thinning.
is it watch along material?
Probably.
There was also the Game Grumps series that nobody liked, and then there was okay, what else there was? Like a lot of YouTube Premium stuff was just a waste of time. I think there was that thing that Matt Pat did where it was just like trying real life theories and video game theories in real life kind of thing.
There must have been a Smosh movie or like a Fred thing on YouTube.
Right? Oh, there was that Ghost movie that they did, that Smosh did, that Ralph reviewed. I forgot the fucking name of it. My Ghost Roommates, was it that called?
Yeah, Smosh the movie, I don't believe was like YouTube Red. That was like its own.
I don't believe that happened.
Cancer.
A feature film.
I don't believe that movie ever
directed
happened.
by
I thought that was a nightmare.
Directed by Alex Winter, the other half of Bill and Ted.
So why is Scare PewDiePie? You can only find it through re-uploads.
Because remember when the 2017 controversy when PewDiePie was like getting canceled for that, like post making like.
Yeah, did YouTube take it down?
I think so.
Cowards.
Yeah, pretty rude.
Yeah, the bridge happened. The PUBG bridge incident.
I don't think it was that. It was like something before that though.
Well, he did do something racist back in 2014. I think I don't know. He said the N-word like way before the bridge.
He said the N-word. There was the adpocalypse.
He criticized them.
Like used Fiverr to have like some fucking kids write bad things about Jews.
That was the thing that got him canceled initially. The Fiverr scandal. That was the thing that caused the adpocalypse initially, and Disney dropped him when he was part of one of their like MCN networks.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-Kaba days. cop-out,
Being
right?
shocked at a YouTuber in like the 2010s being edgy is very funny.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of like, I don't know, mainstream networks like talking about a YouTuber and their like controversy or like really hoping for their career to like go down under because like they don't see YouTube as like this like respectable job.
Don't show
they
them
do, they kind of
fucking
do
content
now.
cop.
Yeah.
Adam, how do you think
Content
starting
creator, yeah.
YouTube when you did affected your career? Like how big a part do you think in getting on YouTube kind of in the early days affected your career?
I mean, yeah, like it was easier to establish
were you ever
when there's
nervous?
not as many people doing it.
Yeah, movie reviews are like a pretty saturated genre now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Everyone's doing with AI and all.
You think the years of practice was important, or do you think you could have kind of jumped in when you were older and kind of done the same quality of stuff?
I have no idea.
Did you like knew that it was gonna like you were gonna get paid or anything?
That was the
when
intention,
starting
yeah.
out?
That was the goal.
How long did it take to make a living?
I thought the intention was just to prove you're better than Confused Matthew.
No, that gave me inspiration to know I could do it.
To like do better than him?
Well, basically. I was like, if he can get views, I can get views.
Yeah, but you were more like, well, I guess you didn't really start as, the way you are now, but as you went along, you were like, I should probably be like more real, so to say.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Damn,
like,
I was like,
I don't know, sincere about your criticism.
I think I still am.
But you're probably more comfortable.
Yeah, I know, but like
you're probably more
that
comfortable.
Evolved over time.
I don't think there was ever a point where I wasn't sincere.
I guess
there was a point where your content was worse, like the fucking Precious review.
That's a gem
that's what
of
I
a
was
review.
thinking.
Shut up.
You start, but like you got started there, so whatever.
Yeah, why not? I don't.
All I remember is Sunkist Soda.
Out of curiosity, were you using like a built-in laptop mic for the Precious review or something?
I was using a really shitty mic. It wasn't built. It wasn't a laptop. It was just a really shitty mic. It was a computer microphone that was not made for anything serious.
I'm literally using a laptop microphone like right now.
Yeah, it sounds
when
better.
I was a kid, I literally had like a mic from a cereal box. I like traded in Fruit Loop like tabs and they sent me a microphone.
Nice.
I also had a mic from like Hey You Pikachu that I used.
That's funny. So I was looking up like the director of the Bows of the Thinning movies, and this guy has literally only directed YouTuber movies. He directed that shitty Shane Dawson horror film Smiley. He also made a movie called Internet Famous. So this dude is literally just making like internet like movies pretty much. That's all he's known for.
With narcissists.
Yeah.
And cat fuckers.
Any final questions, comments? Olivia?
Nah.
Bella Roche?
Nah, I mean, I guess maybe like when you were starting out, because I've been thinking about making something, were you also doing another job at the same time?
I was doing 2 other jobs, yeah.
2 other jobs. Okay.
Debatably 3.
Did you understand how the landscape worked at the time, or were you just like, I'm just gonna, do what I
just fucking
doing.
Worked my ass off. And I understood that, like, how to get attention.
You were just like, but you were like, there was never any worry about like, oh, like this may take me years to get paid or something like that. Did that ever? Okay. All right. Well, I guess there is hope for me, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you have to treat it like your job while it's not your job.
I guess so, yeah. But I also want to do
is a lot more than a lot of people have the ability to do.
I guess so, yeah. But I also want to. I don't want to just do what everyone else is doing. I mean, yeah, I want to incorporate some of that, but I also want to do what I love, doing, and also getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you do what everyone else is doing, then there's no point in watching you.
Exactly.
BC.
I could have sworn I had a question, but then my train of thought left me. Maybe come back to me later.
Okay. We're doing final
cover that.
questions and comments. Taylor.
Yeah, I got a question for Olivia and one for you. For Olivia, what you doing with all that horse semen? And then
was that for me or for Olivia?
I'm making cocaine.
You're making cocaine with it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Adam, do you find yourself when you're writing music? Do you find yourself writing in certain keys often? And how's the new music going? Also, just nice to be back. I haven't been on one of these hangouts for a few months, and it's a fun way to spend the middle of my birthday here today.
Oh, so shit! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, dude!
Oh my God.
Happy
Thanks,
birthday!
Man. Thank you. No, this was fun, you guys.
I don't know if I gravitate towards particular keys. I'll notice like a good amount of like B flats and E flats in my tracks sometimes, but like
typical piano player.
Yeah, I'm there's one that I wrote in let's see, what is that? I think it was in
This is all horse.
I definitely I have more of like a visual and feel understanding of my music, so I don't remember what key I wrote the song in originally, but I did shift it just based on
vocal range.
Yeah, the vocal, what I wanted to do with the vocals. So yeah, sometimes I'll transpose things if it makes sense to. But yeah, it really just depends on the track. I don't stick to any one particular thing. Just whatever feels appropriate. Cool.
And then how's the new music coming?
I'm writing stuff, but I had to take a break with my PRP injection in my arm because my arms are fucked right now. I was gonna go to Anthrocon this weekend, but I had to cancel because I just I wouldn't be able to like pack my bags or carry stuff through an airport or anything. So
I'm just curious. Do you ever kind of use the computer to there's for me writing when it comes to music? Sometimes I've got bad tendonitis from playing bass and guitar for years and years incorrectly because I was never properly trained. But there's tools online that if you have a musical idea, you can still even though you can't perform it and record, the writing process can still kind of be done.
The tendonitis is caused by computer usage mostly, so
there's also VR for
I see what you're saying. So that would just add to your
I'm trying to avoid clicking and typing in general.
At all. Okay.
I've only got like so much of it per day. Depends on the day too, but hopefully I feel like I'm going to have to do a second treatment of the PRP injections because I kind of didn't do the first 2 weeks of it properly with this one, but that would be in September if I do that.
Well, I think your idea of releasing a smaller EP, that's probably the way to go. I know myself, that's all I do. It's just always little individual products. I get overwhelmed when I've got one big record and it was just so daunting that I delayed and delayed.
Yeah,
just because of the overall size of the project. But when you're dealing with a smaller amount, you can put out just as much art just in smaller bursts.
Yeah. You just have to get new album art each time.
Yeah, and it kind of reflects the way you're treating your channel too in your YMS videos.
That's it. BC.
Okay, I finally remember what I have. It's 2 questions. They're not super long.
Sure.
The first one is regarding TIFF. So last hangout we talked about TIFF scheduling and stuff, but I wanted to ask a quick question regarding ticketing.
Yeah.
Do they have reserved seats like they
Yes.
usually do at certain? Oh, they do. Okay.
TIFF is like the only film festival that does reserved seatings, and as of last year, it's
sweet.
for every theater. So theoretically, it'll be for every theater this year as well.
Sick.
The reserved seatings have like different price tiers, though. So it'll be like, do you want to pay fucking $10-$30 more or whatever for better seats? Like, depends on the screen.
As long as I'm not sitting in like the very front, I'll be fine. If I'm sitting in like an aisle seat or like in the like not in the middle or whatever, I'll be fine. Just not in the front. I'll even sit in the back if I really have to. That was a question. I guess I guess a follow-up question and then one other one. Did they have like recliner seats or is it all just like standard seating at TIFF theaters?
They do not have like motorized recliner seats or anything. At the Cineplex, you can like lean back a bit. Although, with my experience at the Cineplex, if you're gonna do that, ask the person behind you first if if that's okay, because sometimes people go, "Yeah, this is where my legs are."
Yeah, I get that experience. I just asked because like literally every theater near me is all like motorized recliner seats. Like every theater that's like
no, yeah, that's not the case for TIFF. And depending on the venue, like I'm trying to remember which ones they still use, if there's any that have like kind of uncomfortable seating. I guess the Visa screening room Princess of Wales one is not like the most comfortable seating because it's kind of like a stage theater kind of one.
Lightbox
has great seats.
Oh, that's great. As long as it's like okay seating and it's not in the front, and as long as there's like some legroom, because I'm really fucking tall in real life, I'll be fine with it and stuff.
How tall?
So I'll be 6'4". That's how tall I am.
Okay.
And I'm taking my older brother with me, as I said, because my parents were like, you got to bring someone, and my brother was like the closest person I know that would probably be okay with whatever movies I show him. So he literally said like, hey, just pick whatever movie that you want to see, and I'll see it with you. So that's the kind of we're not doing the whole festival, as I said. We're only doing it from September 7th to September 11th, and then we're going to go back. But we're hoping to get like, my goal is 2 movies a day, maybe 3 if schedule allows it. You know,
do 6 movies a day.
I really want to go to TIFF. I just don't have the money.
Well, it happens every year.
Yeah,
I'll
especially this
go
year
sometime.
TIFF 50 is going to be big. I hope. I mean, we don't have much.
Who knows? Yeah, it's just a number.
I still need to get my name changed.
Yeah, like TIFF doesn't have any control over like who's making a movie in a year, so.
But there is some promising ones, as I said. New Yorgos, new Park Chan-wook.
Yeah, I'm
hoping those are going to be there. And then the final question.
I mean, there's always stuff to watch at TIFF. There's always stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be interesting stuff. If nothing else, I'll just pick whatever sounds the most interesting to me based on my schedule. You know.
Yep.
And if I miss a movie, I'm not going to be upset. And then one last question, and then I'll stop. Are you planning on doing a watch along for the new Cillian Song movie Materialist at some point when it comes out on digital?
Maybe. I don't know.
I liked it. I get why some people didn't, because it's
it doesn't seem like something I'm gonna rush to see, and given how many things I'm backlogged on right now, I just don't see myself watching it anytime soon. So I would say don't wait for me to watch along it if anybody's.
That's fine. That's fair. I liked it. I like Past Lives more, but I still liked Materialist for what it was. But I do find it interesting that I'm one of the people that really liked it, but there's a bunch of people that thought it was mid or bad. But that's just me, and that's all I have.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Taylor?
Just curious, did you guys record the Legally Blonde Sardonicast yet?
Yes.
Okay. So
what's the recommendation?
Was a Sardonicast rec?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Jake.
What's Alex's recommendation? What's Alex's recommendation?
Spaceballs.
Oh no!
Ah, great! Oh. Yay!
The revenge continues.
Kind of.
Half.
People like Spaceballs, though. I don't, but that's just me.
I wonder. Yeah, I'll watch it, and hopefully it's not just Star Wars.
It's nowhere near as good as like Brooks' other works.
69 Metascore for Materialists. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this anytime soon. That's for
All
sure.
right, that's fair. I was just asking because I was curious.
Yeah, Spaceballs is also getting a sequel. That's probably why.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a Mel Brooks movie. He's directing it, I think.
Sorry, Mel Brooks is directing the sequel?
I think so. He made like a YouTube video announcing it. I don't know.
It's crazy. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's 98.
Yeah. Yeah,
what the fuck?
Seems pretty
How's
healthy.
he directing?
Yeah.
He's not directing.
Know, but...
Yeah, there's no way.
Oh, he's not?
Mel Brooks is not directing. It's being directed by I forget his name, but he did that like really shitty adult dog movie Stray. He also did
oh damn, really?
He did I forget what I know he did a couple of other comedy films, but he's not a great director. Apparently fucking Josh Gad's is writing the script for the film, weirdly enough. So
weird.
It's feeding time.
Oh yeah.
So Blazing Saddles. It's my
Blazing Saddles is great. I unironically love Blazing Saddles.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't. It sucks how I didn't
Young
love that
Frankenstein is great
movie
too.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't into that.
I'm gonna set up for the watch along. So
all right, I'll see you then. Bye.
Thank
guys.
you.
Olivia, send me the link to that
Adam.
scene in cocaine. Okay?
What watch along again?
We're doing But I'm a Cheerleader.
Oh, okay.
Talking
see you then.
cheerleader?
A talking cheerleader.